You're still watching this. Now, what makes a good leader? This is a question that experts have contemplated across countless leadership books and articles. Business owners and executives around the world have different perspectives on the approaches and qualities required for successful leadership. History makes it evident that great leaders emerge from all kinds of backgrounds, gender, culture, and ethnicity. Now, however, there still remains the question regarding the age at which an individual can effectively assume a leadership role. Now, referencing T. Mark's comment concerning the insincerity of the APC presidential flag bearer's age, saying that claiming he's 86, and knowing that there has always been speculations around real ages of most of our leaders. It's not unique to him. Most of our leaders, being older than they claim to be. So today we're discussing this topic and we're asking how old is too old in choosing our leaders. And when I say leaders, because my producer wanted to limit it to presidency. I said, no, it's across board, right? How old is too old in choosing our leaders, right? So let's start to ask this question. Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. You can also tweet at us at PlusTvAfrica1 with the hashtag WasteShow. Okay, so this conversation is quite interesting because, hey, there's so many thoughts in my head, but let me try to narrow it down. On one hand, right, I have seen that most times experience saves the day when it comes to certain kinds of decision making and all of that. That age, that wealth of experience that you've gathered over the years, right? It saves the day. I remember someone very close to me, they were looking for a particular job. This person has gone past retirement age. They had to bring him into that job because they were specific about looking for somebody that has done this thing for years, decades, that understands, the rudiment, yes, and all of that of the job, right? But on one hand, that is on one hand. On the other hand, most times, age does not necessarily mean that you have actually gathered enough wisdom or gathered, the experience or the expertise to be able to handle it. So that is where the conflict for me is, it's a bit shaky for me because I have seen young people that, right, just
excelled.
Yes, just by studying the thing, looking at the principle, they say, okay, and you see it with our kids. The things that we struggled with, they look at
technology that they never even read manuals for.
As in one tech. There's a course that my kids are doing online now. Me, I've been struggling with my course. My course is the 9 weeks course. I'm still in week 4 since. My son that is supposed to be maybe he's gone far. He said, hey, Mommy, I'm already going towards week 3 and all. I said, hey, well, I'm happy for you. You see, so it now tells you the brain that I have to assimilate and accumulate. It's not there.
It's different things and different functions.
Compared to the young people.
When it comes to academics, at times you may feel that you're a bit tired when it comes to having added years on your age, academically speaking, and being able to assimilate. But in the state of governance that we're speaking about, I think there's really no way to limit someone from running from office depending on their age. But I feel there should be sort of like a cognitive function test on a regular basis. Because, for instance, a man that they gave the flag to hold and he was shaking like this, why would you think he'll be able to cope? He might be a good advisor, but when it comes to the functionality of going out every day, attending to citizens, addressing them, he may not be able to cope.
Presidency is not carrying cement and sand now.
I know.
Presidency is brain work.
It's brain work, but are we going to be wheeling you everywhere?
Okay. Norma, let me hear your thoughts.
If I was going to continue from where they stopped, there was once a president that was wheeled everywhere.
In
which country?
In the US.
Not our own. Yes,
no, not in Nigeria.
You're talking about Nixon.
So it's not even about the wheels for me. Age is, there was a quote I came across during the day, and I was like, this is quite interesting. It said, age is simply the number of years the world has enjoyed you. So it's not, when people, I mean, I feel age is overrated. We pay attention too much to age. Because you're 90. Take, for example, this scientist at 103
years old.
He was still contributing to the world. It was just because of an accident that took him. If possible, if he was still, I mean, there's this lady as well. She's not a leader in the context of leadership, but I see her as a leader because at 101, I think she's the oldest British woman who is allowed to drive a car. Now, if you know driving it takes a lot, and if it's not even about the automatic
no, they're talking about reflexes,
talking about manual, when you had to change gear and all of those things. That's what she drives. So for somebody to still be coherent enough to be able to
drive and react,
to put all of these aspects of life together and make decisions that affect not just yourself, but a number of people. So you're talking about millions. Their countries, our country as a whole, well, over 200 million people. You're making decisions on their behalf. You have to have the right kind of head to be able to lead that number of people. So when you're talking about age, for me, it's a pull away from the actual, it's like a symptom, I don't know how to put, but it's a pull away from the actual
crux of the
issue, which is, does this person have the capacity? We have seen 9-year-olds. I mean, if you go into ancient times, you see some of those pharaohs. I think there was a pharaoh that was as young as 9 and led for about 10 years till he was 19 or something. But we've seen young leaders. We've seen old leaders. We have someone like Biden, for example, who is probably one of the oldest presidents in recent times. And then we've seen CEOs, leadership, people who have taken leadership roles, not because of their age, but because of the capacity, because of the ability, the decision-making skills, the competencies that they bring to the table. So for me, when I say how old is too old, it is as far as much as you allow yourself to be old. The moment you tell yourself, because they say age is a number, age is all a figment of the mindset. So the moment you start telling yourself you are old, you start deteriorating. Some people spend all of that time trying to, enforce maybe their age or this or that, and they don't spend that quality time on bringing results to the table.
So I like where you're taking the conversation to, because I was going to come there to say that this thing, are you sure is not an African thing, right? Because in Africa, you're turning 40, all of a sudden you're beginning to tie wrapper like mama. It's just a mindset that we just believe that, I'm not your mate, we carry age. We wear it like a crown on our heads.
We do.
Right? We are very, very particular about age and all of that because of that culture of respect and all of that. But hey, I have seen that abroad that we are trying to compare with. Joe Biden is 79 years old.
Absolutely.
So it means that, how many years has he been in power now? Maybe 3 or how many years?
No, 2 years.
So he was above 70.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Understand?
He was already 76.
Donald Trump is 76.
How old is our
at the time?
APC aspirant? That's the question.
No, hold on. So wait. I'm going to go there.
Okay.
For me, I think it's the insincerity that I find distasteful. Why don't you just come out and say your real age? Do you understand? So and the only person that has successfully, sincerely brought out his real age has been Obasanjo. Because I remember him saying that, see, the time when they do age, that time we say they know even the parents will born them.
They are not sure.
They were not sure. So they used to deal with estimated age that I was born around this time. So I'm saying that for me, it's not even so much about the age itself. It is the insincerity, the shroudiness around the age, and all the conversations around, and all of that. That's what gets me bothered. Because I have seen, like you rightly said, someone at 103. I have seen extremely old people with so much accuracy. Look at China, for instance. When they start to do all those, they have those races that they do for very old people. You know, you see 102 running on you know, 103, they are participating in what's it called, 100 meters or 50 meters race and all of that. It tells you that they are still very much, you know.
So the bottom line is, it's not so much about your chronological age, it is your capability.
It's the capacity. So where I was driving with that conversation, as I am like this as I'm young, I'm in my 30s. Sometimes I have memory problem. Do you understand? So I think what we should concern ourselves with is how well and how healthy is the mind. Do some kind of mind assessment.
Yeah.
Is this person, does this person, all the cognitive skills, are they still sharp enough for leadership? Because in governance, as a leader, you would need to take certain kinds of decisions that it's not going to be based on, you have to be thinking ahead. And I like that that quote that we put up today. You should be able to have like a motivation structure that you are thinking miles ahead. Can you lead the tech generation? Do you understand? As an older person, you know, it is one thing for you to be able to lead and just lead, but it's one thing for you to be an innovative leader that even you have positioned yourself ahead for the generation that are coming. They can't even catch up with you. And that's one thing I see Sam Adeyemi doing all the time. He keeps saying that, see, the reason he keeps studying and studying and studying as a leader, because he knows that, yes, he has carried a lot of leaders to where they are today. But you see, there are some leaders, if he's not careful, they will come and they will overtake him. So he needs to keep on going ahead to wait for them and let them be catching up.
And really, that's how, sorry, Laide, that's how your brain continues to be young. It's an exercise. How many people actually exercise? I mean, Jim Quick will tell you that your brain has capacity for what you allow. A lot of people do not exercise the brain well enough to harness the innate abilities of the brain. So when you see people getting old, it's because they have stopped exercising the brain.
To the
Every engagement that you keep pushing to the brain helps it to prefer solutions, right? So when the more problems you have, the more the brain has the ability to be able to regenerate itself, to be able to give a solution to that problem. But we find a lot of our leaders who maybe focus on some goal or task. And when they get there, maybe they get the leadership position, that's it. There's no further motivation. There's no passion. There's nothing that is constantly pushing you. It's somebody who is driven, that continues to seek opportunities so that even the people that you're leading, you're always ahead of them. One step ahead of them as they're trying to catch up. You found innovative, uncharted territories that you keep pushing towards. And that is unfortunate that we do not see it in a lot of the African leaders or the type of leaders that we've experienced so far. Because it's not even coming from a place of leadership. It's coming from a place of my own ambitions or my own, what's the
personal
word?
Goals.
My own personal goals. And once those things are achieved, then that is it. Leadership is not even about you. That's another thing that a lot of people, so-called leaders, do not understand. It's more about the people. And every time you're thinking about the people that you're leading, then the more you find out that you will always have things that keep you on your toes.
Absolutely.
Being a leader doesn't necessarily mean you know everything about everything. You just know something about everything. And then you have the humility in person to be able to choose the right people to make decisions in certain places and just oversee it. A leader at this stage, especially when you're comparing Gen Z to the likes of our aspirants right now, they can't have the same conversations on the same level because there's a world of technology that they could never understand if it was all about technology. But as the adage would say at times, that's what an elder sees sitting down. A young person cannot see it even if they were at the top of a tree. It's a certain kind of wisdom that we are hoping that age comes with. And it's not always the case. As they say that common sense is not always common, it's the same way that wisdom doesn't always come with age. But what we're hoping for is that if you do really want to be a leader, be humble enough to take on other people's opinions. have a round table of people that are experts in their fields. A lot of things that we've never done in Nigeria is put experts in the right field. We just start putting people based on nepotism in different positions that they have no knowledge about, on compensations or things that we promised them during campaign. So it starts crumbling from the base, and it seems as if the whole leadership isn't working because you don't make use of the people that really have the know-how.
Let's take a break. I'd like to open our phone lines. I like what you talked about, humility. When we come back, I want to dwell a bit more on that. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, thanks for staying with us now. If you just tuned in, it's our Ladies' Night Out, and we are discussing the topic, how old is too old in choosing our leaders, right? Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-4663. You can also tweet at us at PlusTvAfrica1 with the hashtag WaveShow. Our phone line is now open. You know the rules. Turn off the volume of your television. Biko. The number to call is 07025007749. That's the number to call. All right, so I liked what you talked about, humility, and I think that is where the missing link is, right? And that's why we would always try to choose leaders that are closer to us in terms of age, right? Because usually, I think it is the factor of this culture that creeps into the minds of these older leaders that it's like, it's an insult for you to tell me I am wrong.
What to do,
or you tell me
who I am.
And that's why I must applaud Abiyamila. Even if he was doing it, playing to the gallery or doing it for whatever stunt it is, that the fact that a lot of people called him out and he's humble enough to come back to say, I am sorry. Do you understand? It shows that he has the potential to be a good leader, right? Because you see...
Because listening is very key.
That is part of leadership. You must be able to listen, get feedback, and act on it. And again, you see so many leaders that we have today in Africa, they are not... And that is what is killing us. We're not able to get to that point where we say, you know what, I admit I am vulnerable, I was wrong. We don't do all of those, right? You know, but we have a caller. I believe we have... hello? Hello?
The youngest old man.
Youngest old man, thank you for calling.
Thank you. You know, this is kind of my area of specialization.
I can see.
To know how old is too old.
That's why your name is youngest old man.
Yes, so I can talk from both sides of the coin. I'm going to the caller.
Go ahead.
You see, basically, from my own personal belief, age matters in stuff like this, but experience is the key. You understand? Some of our old men are too old for the day-to-day affair. For example, now, if we look how the development is coming, how things are going haywire. For example, now, somebody that don't even understand Bitcoin is your leader in central bank, and is feeling irritated about that word Bitcoin and its boundaries, other kind of things. So for me, how old is too old is how far have you grown yourself? What's your history in development? How far have you grown wealth? Because if you have not grown wealth, you can't manage health. You can't manage wealth, and so as to every other thing. You see, so for me, I can see the American president as an old man, but it's not doing too bad. You understand me? And you can see what's happening in France. A young man, not doing too bad. So basically, I think the main thing is all about enlightenment. How grown is the person in charge in terms of abilities, his experience, what he has achieved, what he has grown personally. So for me, I think how old is too old in that question means how experienced are you, how broad, what have you grown as an individual? Because mostly what we face, what gives us bigger issues in Nigeria here is just connection. Nobody wants to know your area of specialization, what you've done so far, how far you've been able to build wealth on your own, so that you can manage it. You cannot manage what you don't know how to build. So this jumping and start, it's not the best for us. So for me, I think age matters, but experience and personal growth times the age of your strength in terms of moral. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we started off speaking about the APC aspirant for the presidential position, and there's been so much controversy about his age. that it's a bit embarrassing for me as a Nigerian to have someone being attacked on so many fronts. In some cases, they said that when he was trying to be a governor, he had declared a certain age, and now he's claiming that those documents that he declared with don't exist anymore, which is perjury. And then we have an in-law who allegedly says he's a certain age, and he claims that that is not his age, but he's not being noble enough to tell us what the actual age is. We can see through our eyes. We can tell most times, just by looking at people, what decade they fall into, or what year they probably were born. If this man truly did exist 70 years ago, didn't he have classmates? Didn't he have people that lived in the same neighborhood that could actually come out and say, oh, I know for a fact that at least we're in the same age group? So Gbajabiamila is being attacked for having gone to Harvard and being insensitive about the post. He comes out and says, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't think about it that way. This other person has not.
So that's where we're going.
Addressed us.
That's where I was going with that conversation. That for me, I look at the flexibility of the leader. A leader, you cannot, as a leader, be all-knowing or mini-knowing or mini-whatever. You must be willing to say, I am yes, you must be vulnerable. But I think we have a Mecca from Oyo, I believe. You're live, Emeka.
Mini disconnect.
Emeka, are you there? Or did we lose the call? All right, so, so it is the dynamic nature of the leader I am looking out for. So I might not know everything. I might be old, but the flexibility and the willingness to go learn and go and get the mix to see, okay, how can I make it work? Is what we're looking for. So the issue we are having is not that we cannot afford to have somebody that is old as a president or as a leader.
Can I correct
the issue we're having?
Advanced in
age.
Years.
We're advanced in years, yes. But I think I have Timile from Lagos. So the issue I'm having is that it is that most of those people who tend to surround themselves with only their age grade.
Boys and their age grade.
At the end of the day,
learn anything new.
But Timile you're live.
Yeah, from Lagos.
Thank you for calling. Hello. Sorry, they will have to cut you off if you don't turn down the volume of your television set. Yeah, we can. Hello.
Hello.
Can you turn down the volume of your television? Yes. Okay.
Just to allude to what you were saying earlier about surrounding yourself with the right kind of thing. I think part of the things that I look out for in a leader is your ability to be able to surround yourself with continuous opportunities to learn, fresh ideas, right? Because what you're used to may not be relevant in the times that you're serving in, and you need information to be able to, and then there's need for balance. Yes, there's the knowledge of the elders, if I may.
Sorry, I think Emeka is back. Just give me 1 minute. Emeka, you're live.
Hello.
Go ahead, you're live.
Emeka, you're live.
Sorry, when we say, so once your call has been picked up, turn down the volume of once your call has been picked up, please turn down the volume of your television set so we can hear ourselves. There's a feedback and we can't take that feedback. Go ahead, Norma.
Yeah, so there's the role that the wisdom, and experience plays. And then there's the aspect where we are, that we are facing, which is the new normal, technology, the digital space. Life is no longer what you're used to. How are you navigating those waters? How are you
moving with
open to learnings? And I think a leader is a student of life.
Absolutely.
It's not just about what you used to know. It's about what you can know
and what
now.
You need to know.
What you need to know. So you're always open to learning. It keeps you fresh. It keeps you, even though advanced in age, but current.
I like when they say advancing. We cannot put advancing.
She's trying not to say
old.
The issue is that we cannot stop you from leading as long as you can go there and you meet all the requirements according to the Constitution. But please, when you get into office, consider the fact that you're dealing with people from like 3 different generations at once. You're dealing with even your parents. Some of the people that are in leadership will still have elders older than they are. They have the younger. We were talking about Gen Z. Which one is Gen Z? Which one is millennials? You need to have a good mix, a gumbo of people that have a knowledge of every single aspect of life, and then use them for what they are known for.
Because what I think is the problem is that a lot of young people, but I think I have a caller. Are you there? Hello? Okay. So, I have a feeling that most times, and it happens, right? We tend to flock with people, that we already know. When you see someone assume the role of leadership today, the next thing he's doing is, let me bring down my friend, my old school friend, my this, we worked together, we did this, we did that, which is fair, you understand, because you want to also work with people that you can trust that they'll be able to deliver based on the knowledge you had about them. But the truth is that because of the uniqueness of where we are today globally, technology has made life easy. That quote that you gave, say what an elder sees sitting down. If a child climbs a tree and he has a laptop and Google, the child will see
a drone will show him what the elder is seeing and what he's seeing himself.
The child will see 50 years what the elders cannot see sitting down. So technology has made life, in long and short, technology has made life so sweet and so easy that this is the best time to actually lead. It's the best time to govern. Do you know that most times when I'm talking to my children, as they are talking like this, I'm on Google. Because there are some words that they will say.
And I've never heard it before.
My sister, you just go online. And so that is and sometimes I'm even telling them, come. But I think we have Frank from Edo, but sometimes I even tell them, see, I don't know it, or explain it to me.
Exactly.
Do you understand? But let me take Frank. You're live. Sorry, I've just been talking.
Hello.
Go ahead, you're live.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Frank.
My name is Frank. I'm calling you from Mauti, Edo State.
Go ahead, Frank. You're live.
Frank.
You people not allow us to talk. You are discussing. I'm enjoying it anyway. Good evening. This is my first time of calling.
Oh, thank you for calling.
So my take on this age in leadership in Nigeria, to me, age is okay and age is not okay. Let's take the issue of Obasanjo and Buhari now. Obasanjo, we are told, is 80-something years. When you see Obasanjo talk, even up till now, it's different from Buhari that he say he's 77. Obasanjo had maturity. He talks is well-read, but Buhari that looks younger. Look, if he gets anytime he's talking, he's not strong. Look at our Baba Tinubu that if are giving to other we must swallow. They say it's 69 years. My father that died at the age of 74. You can't compare to them. My father looks stronger than this man they are giving us. So age is important in leadership in Nigeria. If you are younger, it's also okay. It's just like they say an accident happened somewhere. The president should go to be up and doing and work to monitor. But look at Baba. Baba is in Aso Rock, take drugs, just eat, watch television, put toothpick in his mouth, and tell Nigeria that
he's traveling.
He can't wait and go back to Daura. This is not what we want. The man is not that old, whether it's ID his age or not. But what we are saying is opposite of what the man is saying. So, what my take on leadership in Nigeria, the person must be mentally alert. Education, exposure. These are the quality of a good leader in Nigeria. It is not really. Obata, if you bring Obata, if I have power to America constitution, I will have preferred Obata to come back and rule again. The man has idea, he's older, but his ideas are still fresh, it's well and travel. So this is my take.
Thank you. I like mental alertness. That's what we're talking about.
Your cognitive skills.
Yeah,
sharp
cognitive skills.
Still...
But I just to put a small joke aside, maybe they should change that name to Aso Rock. Because maybe it's the rock. The rock not they move. Maybe it's the rock.
Maybe that's why they're not.
That's why they're not. Maybe they should change. You know the way they say
when
White
they
House.
were in Lagos here, were they flexible? It's not that so that is disturbing them
I'm
now.
trying to make a joke.
We've got.
You know, so they say White House. Everything is white. Everything is moving. So maybe we should change that name from Aso Rock to something.
Locomotion.
Yes.
We should call it to evolution.
Frank is right, because there's what you have. There's mental age and there's physical age. There are people who are physically 90 but probably mentally 40.
Yeah.
And then you have those who are physically 40 and mentally they are 90. It's all about how you engage. If you don't take care of your, but he made mention of the former president Obasanjo.
Yeah.
He engages himself physically and then he also engages himself mentally. He reads books, he writes books. He's doing things that continue to keep him sharp and alert.
Let me take Prince from Anambra State. Thank you for calling.
Yes.
You're live.
Hello.
Go ahead, you're live.
Hello.
Hi, Prince.
Hello.
Oh,
Hi,
no.
Prince is not ready.
I don't think he's hearing.
We need to be cognitive on the phone calls as well to be able to connect to people.
So it's very important, and it's how people grow themselves. How the more opportunities they give themselves to be relevant. That's how. I mean, the quote I had mentioned earlier. It's how much of the world has enjoyed. As in, if Nigerians were to say, if you take a pool of 200 citizens of Nigeria, say how much of you as a leader have they been able to enjoy? Are they able to say, okay, like 90% or 10% of what is going to be their evaluation or feedback?
I know a man that passed away last year at the age of 95, some Daddy Olokmade. This guy was strong, he was agile, he was living in the body of like a 67-year-old at the age of 95. So it's not so much about the age per se. When you're looking at him, you can say, oh, he's agile and everything. There are people that suffer dementia in old age, and some even off cases where it comes out younger. I think at the end of the day, it's about your cognitive abilities. But with this man that his in-law mentioned, it's because there's so much, is it hula baloo that we will call it? There's so much shroudiness about his age that he doesn't even seem to have integrity where that is concerned, not to talk of anything else. It's not so much your age. If you can function, you can function. We're not going to send you to an early grave just because we think you should stop living. I mean, if we think you should retire by the age of 75 and you live to be 103, we would have deprived ourselves of almost 30 years.
But I just gave you people an instance of someone that they had to call back even after retirement age.
Yes.
Because they know that that person is very sharp and he's the only person that can deal with the job.
So it's about, if you're alert, if your brain is working well for you, not your age.
I just want them to be honest, right? But I think I have Raymond. Raymond, you're live. Oh, today we're having issues. Raymond, you're live.
Hello.
Go ahead, quickly, you're live.
Good evening.
Hi.
My name is Raymond. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Thank you, Raymond, for Port Harcourt.
Yeah. Please, what I want to contribute is that I want to plead with respected Yoruba leaders that they should gather together to go and beg Alhaji Tinubu to shape this his ambition. Because there is no way a man of his age will be able to drive Nigeria at this critical point. When we are complaining about our incumbent president, you could remember there was a time he spent almost 6 months in London because the man was old. Then Tinubu appears older than this present president want to take over. What is he going to do there? In my own, I would want to vote for Tinubu's son or vote for Tinubu's wife. But no, Tinubu, he cannot do this work. He cannot do this. Within 1 week, that man will collapse. There's no way he's going to do it. And look at the controversies surrounding the man. He doesn't have certificate. The man is very, very old. They are accusing him here and there and so on and so forth. Muslim. There's no way if Nigeria ever makes an attempt to allow such a man to become the president of Nigeria. In fact, we'll be clapping for this president. We'll be clapping for him. There's no way. Even me who is talking to you, I'm 58 years old.
Sometimes I have some memory loss and so on and so forth. At the age of 58, how can Tinubu be 69 and his daughter is 62? How is he going to work?
They had each
How
other.
can some people pushing such man to continue to be a president of Nigeria?
Thank you.
Let him give us his wife.
No.
Thank you. His daughter.
Thank you.
It's not a monarchy, so he doesn't have to
Thank
give
you
us
very
his
much.
wife. We
But
have other
let me
people.
take some comments. Someone says, I beg, oh, some of us are advancing age. He said he's 60, but I'm doing an executive diploma course. I've told myself that I will be a student for life because I must be academically current. Let's take more comments. You know, it's actually interesting. What I wanted to harp on is how well you have lived your life, health-wise. Because you see, if you have a healthy lifestyle, a healthy habit,
The chronological age will matter.
yes, your
Take,
age
for
does not
example,
matter.
When we had President Yar'Adua,
Yeah.
the weight of leadership, I think,
It had a toll on his
affected
health.
his
Yes.
health
It had a toll on his
and
health.
be as effective
As
he
po-
wanted
yeah.
to.
Someone said, evening, beautiful ladies. When we talk of age, look at Kate Henshaw. She does not look at age. Age is just a number. Well, you can see her exercising all the
That's
time.
what I'm saying, the
I'm
lifestyle.
younger than she is, but I can't do what she does. But this is partly what we're talking about. Your body is an engine. The soul is actually who you are. Your body is just an engine that is carrying you around in the world. Use it well, and then maybe it will be able to serve
It
us
serve you well. It will
Yeah.
serve you well. Norma, your comment quickly.
Yes, I have this from Sanami, and she says, good evening, beautiful ladies. The law of diminishing returns is certain to set in this life. Our Nigerian
You can't fake it.
octogenarians who think they can lead should please acknowledge and accept the fact and bow out. We now live in a global world being run by young tech-savvy technocrats who are excelling globally. I beg, they should let go and fade away.
The phone lines are buzzing. Good evening.
If only they would
My
let
dear beautiful sister Norma defined age as a number of years that the world has enjoyed you. Age depends on the mind. If someone sees that he or she cannot perform well and there is no agility there, then it is sure that the person cannot perform or lead. Concerning the presidential aspirant of the All Progressive Congress, if he is lying about his age, then it is for his own pocket. These old people, I don't know what they gain from hiding their ages. Someone that knows them very well will end up revealing their real age, and they will end up being liars, and they would all lose their honor, dignity, and integrity. You know what that means. In my own opinion, elderly people should give room for young people with fresh and agile brains to lead. In old age, dementia can set in, and it can affect leadership. My name is Daniel Elio, your ways regular.
The unfortunate
On that note, we ran out.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Well, that's what
We were advancing in age.
we're advancing in age.
On time.
Oh my goodness, but thank you so much, ladies. Thank you, Norma. Thank you, Lady. We had a fantastic conversation. Let me take one more last question. Comment. The truth is that we don't have leaders but rulers. That's our BBC. Say best before computer. Before we go, let them put me in trouble. Please follow us on Instagram, on TikTok. Is our way show Africa. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, follow all our engagements on social media, like, share, invite your families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. Now, if you missed today's quote, here it is again, right? I love this quote. It says, leaders must be close enough to relate to others, but far enough ahead to motivate them. We'll see you guys live at 8 p.m. tomorrow as we bring another great conversation to your screen.
Good night.